Hey, happy hump day. 5-3 yesterday, 11-6 over the last 2 days. We're starting to heat up. Let's go. Hey, good morning. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here, back with another early look NBA Prize Picks video. Did pretty good yesterday. The main video crushed. We went 4-0 in that, or 3-1, depending if you took the over 17 fantasy score for Wendell Carter Jr., which he just missed a 16, or over 8.5 points, which he hit with 10. And the other three hit. Drew Holiday over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 34. RJ Barrett over 20.5 or 20 first half fantasy score, and he had 27.9. And then Bones Highland over 11.5 points. He hit for 16. The early video shocked me a little bit. We were on the right side of Julius Randle getting ruled out, but we still missed it here. Alex Burks did go over 11 fantasy score for the first half with 17. Mitch Raab just missed over 3.5 points with 3. He missed a dunk with 4 minutes left, which was pretty irritating. And then Evan Fournier, which is surprising to me, he didn't close out that game. Only played 26 minutes, so we missed on the over 14.5 points with him with just 11. So, yeah, kind of weird not him playing a bunch of minutes with no Randall out there and only not finishing the game out there when they had quickly. So, but hey, we went 5-3, 11-6 over the last 2 days. Let's just keep this thing going. And with that, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell when you know when I upload these videos. Appreciate each and every one of you. And if you find any value in these, again, hit that like button for me and let's just keep pushing along. Got 5 plays for you today. Let's check them out. All right, on the desktop here, you can see that I have the NBA Prize Picks desktop version up here. If you want the mobile app, they have that on both Google and Apple Store. And if you do not have an account, make sure you head on over there and use that promo code DFSArmy and get yourself that 100% instant deposit match up to $100. And if you are a brand new subscriber to Prize Picks, you also are eligible for a free month of DFSArmy VIP membership. The rules are in the description below. All right, we got 5 picks here. Going to talk about each and every one of them. Got a massive 11-game slate on our hands, so we got a lot to choose from. So pretty decent-sized board here, even this morning, that we're looking at. And we'll go through each and every one of the picks and why I like them. First one we're going to go to is we're going to go to points. And we're going to go to Kyrie Irving, over 25.5 points here. Multiple reasons why I like this play. One is Kyrie Irving is actually playing basketball today because it is an away game. Now, yes, things could change, and New York could change the rules by the time that the NBA season ends. We don't know. It's speculation. So I'm only going to go with the information that we do know. And the information that we do know is, Kyrie Irving can only play on away games. Well, they only have 4 away games out of their last 10, including tonight. Kyrie Irving has put up a ton of shots here with Kyrie, when he does play, and Kevin Durant kind of takes a back seat. We saw it in Orlando where he put up a 60 spot back on March 15th, which is the last time he played here. So he's well rested. I think they're going to continue to let Kyrie Irving kind of run the show and do a bunch here, and Kevin Durant kind of take a back seat when it comes to scoring the ball here. So Kyrie Irving, he's went over this in 6 of his last 8 games. The over is juiced up to around -120 in a lot of spots. Memphis is ranked 13th in points allowed, 15th in 3-pointers allowed. And John Morant is out this game as well, which is only going to help here. Brooklyn's actually favored by 2.5, and it's got a massive 236 over under here. So Brooklyn favored. He's going to take a ton of shots. He took 31 in the game against Orlando. I think we're going to see 20 plus shots out of him here. There's no reason for him not to continue to play a bunch here with Kevin Durant having to pick up the scoring load on those other games. So over 25.5. I love this play, Kyrie Irving. The next one we're going to go to, I'm actually going to go and talk about the other side of this real quick. And I think it's directly correlated to this, exactly why I spoke about Kyrie Irving. I'm going to actually go to Kevin Durant, and I'm going to take the under on Kevin Durant. Could Kevin Durant come out there and just absolutely put up a big piece if Kyrie Irving's struggling? Yes. I get that. But if I think Kyrie Irving is going to put up, 30 points plus points today, I think Kevin Durant's going to take a back seat. So if we kind of look at the games that Kevin Durant has played, though, so let's look at the last 4 away games where Kyrie Irving played. On March 15th was the last one. He played Orlando again, but only put up 19 points. And that's because Kyrie Irving went nuclear and put up 60. If we look at the last game before that against Philly, he put up 25 real life points in that game. If we look at the game before that in Charlotte, he only put up 14 points. And then Boston, he did put up 37 points, but Kyrie Irving struggled. And so that's what I'm saying. If Kyrie Irving does struggle here, then yes, Kevin Durant would probably pick up the scoring load and has a real good shot at going over. But if Kyrie Irving is humming and all like he was against Orlando, I think, again, Kevin Durant's going to take a back seat. And I like how these plays correlate. I just feel like if Kyrie Irving's going off, Kevin Durant's probably not going to go off. So he went under the 3 of his last 4 games that he's played with Kyrie Irving. And we could actually go back to a 5th one. He went under that with 27 points against Chicago back on January 12th. So that's about 2 months of data with a lot of these away games here. And again, I'm going to lean the under here. And if you don't want to go 27.5 points, you could go points, rebounds, and assists with 41.5. I kind of feel like the points, because I still think he's going to get rebounds and assists. And it's not like he's not going to score, but I just think like Kyrie Irving is going to just, again, push for that scoring, more with the games he does have left, as long as they don't change that rule. Because he's got this game. He plays Saturday, March 26th against the Heat as an away game. Then he plays the Hawks on April 2nd, and then goes back into the Garden on April 6th is the last away game for the Nets. So as long as they don't change the rules, I think Kevin Durant's going to take a backseat in scoring today. So we're going to take the under on that one. Might be kind of shocking, but that's kind of how I see the game playing out. And when you're playing some of these, you got to have to think about how the game is going to play out and how they correlate to each other. So the next one we're going to go to is we're going to go to assists. We're going to go down here to Dejounte Murray playing Portland. We're going to go over 9.5 assists here. He's played Portland once this year back on December 2nd. He put up 13 assists against them. Yes, he's only went over this mark in 2 of his last 5 games. And 4 of his last 10 games. But Portland is a dumpster fire. There's no Josh Hart. There's no Anthony Simons. They're just not a good team. The juice is way over on this at -135, -140 this morning already. So this number should be closer to 10.5 in this matchup against Portland. This is a good spot for Dejounte Murray to, put up a triple double, get his guys involved. At 9.5, I'm going to take the over here. Even though, against Golden State, didn't put that up in the Pelicans, but OKC in Minnesota, he crushed that. Again, a bad Portland team like this, I can see him easily going over and putting up, again, 11 or 12 assists here. So we're going to go over on Dejounte Murray and that Portland defense, who was ranked almost dead last in assists allowed. The next one we're going to go to is his running mate here, man. And we're going to go to points. We're going to come down here. One that I did look at, what I mentioned, it's not an official play, but Bruce Brown definitely is one to look at taking the under as well. With, again, if Kyrie Irving's going to go off, he's actually went under this number in the last 2 games that Kyrie's playing. So just want to mention that, even though that number feels a little low for me, but I just wanted to throw that out there. But the play I was looking at here is Jakob Poeltl over 13.5 points. Again, the juice is on the over around -125, -130. He put up 14 against Portland before. Portland's defense is just horrendous. Again, 27 points allowed, 28th in field goal percentage, 20 in free throws allowed. Spurs are favored by 8, 233.5 over under. Oh, Drew Eubanks is on the other side. He used to be a Spur. Maybe they want to battle it out a little bit like they used to do in practice. So, maybe he wants to, put a few points on the old boy. But he's went over this mark outside of these last 2 games. Before those last 2 games, he did go over this mark in 6 of his last 8 games. So he doesn't shoot a ton of volume. If we take Golden State and the Pelicans out, 10, 12, 11, 8, 10, 8, 14, 11 shots. So, if the game stays remotely close, he should crush this. But, Jakob Poeltl over 13.5 points. Seems pretty easy in this matchup. But with the shot volume here, it'd probably be ranked 5th for me out of all of them. And the last one here we're going to go to is we're going to go NBA first half points, one that I really like here. And we're going to go down to, I'm sorry, not points. We're going to go to fantasy score, first half fantasy score. And we're going to go to Jay Crowder, and we're going to go over 11 fantasy score here for Jay Crowder. If we go back and look at what he's done, there's no Cam Johnson here going up against Minnesota, which is, again, one of the faster teams in the league that plays. They are ranked 2nd in pace. So it's definitely a good spot for them. 20th in points allowed, 23rd in rebounds allowed, 26th in assists allowed. So he can do a little bit of everything. One thing about Jay Crowder is he does a little bit of everything. And so if we look at some of these first halves, the last, Sacramento 15, 14.7, 23, 14. Miami, that's a tough matchup. Old team only put up 9. But even before that, he put up 12.2, 17.9, 11.6, 27.1. So he's went over this number in 8 of his last 9 games. And he just missed it against Utah before that at 10.7. But then 16, 21, 16, 15, 20, 13. I mean, he's crushed this for almost the last 2 months. So a spot like this where no Cam Johnson's going to have to play more minutes. He's going to be in this game. I do like the over fantasy score here. So here's the 5 that we do have. We have Kyrie Irving over 25.5 points. I'm going to put that as number 1 here as I rank these. I'm going to put Jay Crowder number 2 at over 11 fantasy score. Then I'm going to put number 3 at Dejounte Murray over 9.5 assists. Number 4, I'm going to put under 27.5 points for Kevin Durant. And the 5th one here, I'm going to put over 13.5 points for Jakob Poeltl, because there's ways that can go wrong. The numbers and just everything kind of matched up, but that would be my least favorite out of them. So hopefully this video helps. I will have another one out closer to lunchtime here when we get the full card out. A lot of NBA action today. Like I said, a massive 11-game slate on our hands. We got a lot of injury news with the last, basically 2 weeks and some change of basketball here at NBA before we get to the playoffs, where the consistency rolls in and it's a lot easier. We don't have to worry about guys playing blowouts and all that. So with that, I'm Cash Cake. I will see you guys on the flip side. Deuce.